So this message is for TT Kamala. I admit I was ready for the purple rain. In those first 3 days, I raged and self-medicated and slept. But by the third day, a song got stuck in my head, and it was a song from your childhood, Let the Sunshine In. And so I looked it up to play it. It's Fifth Dimension, Age of Aquarius, and let it play straight through, Let the Sunshine In on a loop until I felt much better. And at first, I thought this song got stuck in my head because I was missing the joy and the warmth and all of the hope that you and Coach Walls and the team were able to give millions of people around the world in 100 days. And that's true. I'm very grateful. I'm very proud of you all. But I realized that the song was stuck in my head in part because as you gave us your resume during those 100 days, it caused me to think about not just the past 4 years, but your entire career. And so I just wanted to say, let the sun shine in with all of its life-affirming, illuminating, disinfecting properties, TT. Not that you were planning to stop, but please keep going. We're right here with you. Please, TT, let the sun shine. I believe in you. I believe that we're gonna be okay. Let the sun shine in, TT. Thank you. This message is for Coach Walls. I want to say thank you, that I'm grateful that I got introduced to you as a non-Minnesotan. Grateful that I got to see you in Savannah, Georgia, and that watching your interview with Ezra Klein, where you talked about your first visit to San Francisco, when you had done your 5-mile run. I'm going to tell you, Coach, it made me very jealous. It made me jealous thinking of you and TT Kamala running together at the White House. It made me so jealous that I set a personal goal for myself that ended up exceeding my autism and ADHD. And after that disappointment, then November 5th and the 3 days after were not very good for me either. But after that disappointment kind of worked its way through, I reframed that experience of that goal in the mindset of a teacher who cares more about how their students are learning and making connections and growing than they do about the end test. And I reframed it like the coach who didn't care about the school's past, but whether or not the player and players right in front of him were capable of stretching to new goals. And so I just wanted to let you know that I was inspired to view that experience with all the new personal records I had set, but I hadn't reached my end goal. And I'm grateful that you gave that to me just through your story and seeing you guys out on the campaign trail. And I am sure that the next 4 years, you're going to continue to inspire many of us to set new personal records and maybe even run with Kamala and run with Coach. Thank you. And to Grandpa Joe, I know that in the news cycle that we all unfortunately exist in, these past 4 years are kind of blown by, but from what I know, what I've experienced, you are going to go down as a truly consequential leader of this country, and your accomplishments will be the stuff of legend. And I just want to honor you and your 125 years of public service with the preferred ice cream of Southern grandparents. So my stomach's not going to be happy, but my heart will for you. Butter pecan ice cream. Oh, and tell that Merrick Garland that his book title should be The Quietest Patriot, because I'm pretty sure that man was a truly legendary leader. And to accomplish what I'm pretty sure he's gotten done in the past 4 years while being a punching bag for the entire country, I want the book. Thank you. That is good. Oh, Butter Pecan, I forgot I loved you. So with me thanking our personal preferences for all that they've done and hope to do, you might be wondering how you can let the sun shine in, or how you can set new personal records. And it's gonna look different for everybody. There's no one size fits all for anything. And I think that as I kind of thought through the messaging, for me, it was understanding that I might be different people at different times. I might wear different hats at different times throughout the next 4 years. And so I hope this could help someone who's feeling a little stuck right now. Maybe you're worried about your health and safety, or that of your family or community in the next 4 years, and you're especially frustrated and concerned, like most of us, because you happen to vote for Team Healthcare as a human right. Maybe letting the sun shine in looks like setting new personal records for your own health, or learning CPR, or finishing learning how to swim, learning how to run with Kamala and Coach. But it could go even as far as befriending labor and delivery nurses or nurses. I'm thinking of Vic Mensa and Chicago Street Team. I don't know what they were really called, but they were kind of like emergency responders in areas, so that the capacity to perform certain care procedures was distributed throughout the community, and not being so reliant on systems that are definitely going to lose funding and have major issues in the next administration. So maybe you were looking forward to all the ways you're planning to level up for the next 4 years. You were going to invest in yourself, invest in your business, grow your kingdom, so to speak. For you, maybe you should imagine letting the sun shine in as the sun beaming down on your crown each time you set and beat a new personal record. Choose things that no weirdos and no weird policies could block, maybe. Maybe you, like the vast majority of us, rely on someone to pay you on a timely basis, and you can't fathom continuing to work for anyone, particularly not someone who could choose to not pay you or fire you if you go on strike or union bust, and you're concerned about all of the gains that have been made in the past 4 years being undone in the next 4 years. For you, maybe letting the sun shine in is figuring out as soon as possible how you can help organize within your workplace or build community around the people that you work with or the work that you do, so that you all can come together, take advantage of the collective voice, collective action, and letting the sun shine on any policies that could harm you, could harm your family, could make it more difficult for you to do your job. Maybe you're feeling disappointed, hurt even, about what the election says about the promise of America, this diverse, welcoming country that has so much power in the world. Maybe for you, letting the sun shine in is one, not forgetting that eventually we get civil rights stuff right. Maybe it's offering vacations to your cousins or nieces or nephews that live in places that are less accommodating to America's diversity. Or maybe it's stepping up and recognizing that there is no single position you could run for where you would do a worse job than whoever is on the other side. Maybe you're a normal American who understands that the vast majority of the food that we eat is provided from the hard labor of the very individuals who are under constant threat from one side of the aisle. And you're terrified that the tariffs and immigration policies and all of the other threats to the food system are going to have massive impacts for the country, potentially the world, because we are so interconnected. So maybe for you, letting the sunshine in looks like working with co-ops, planting your own little garden and whatever little bit of property that you have, even indoor farming, but figuring out ways to help yourself and your community decouple from a system that is under grave threat. Maybe you actually care about the health and safety of the planet and the people, plants, and animals in it. And you have an understanding of how all of the threatening policies around the environment are going to drastically change our ability to survive as a species. Maybe for you, letting the sunshine in is figuring out ways that you can work with others who are already doing the work separate from the government. Maybe something as small as just picking up litter around your neighborhood, or something as big as working with cleanup teams, because it's going to take all of us, and you can let the sunshine in by helping to do the things that are under threat that the government really should be taking care of, but maybe you're just overwhelmed altogether and you find yourself spiraling or crying sporadically or crying frequently, and the idea of letting the sunshine in sounds really glib and beyond you right now. And I just want to say that whatever you're feeling in this moment is rational, is honest. And I would like to point out that without the rain, the cleansing, purifying rain, the watering of crops, we would all die anyway with just sunshine. So no need to emotionally bypass. But I would also like to say that consider the strength it takes to be able to cry. And if you can spare them, maybe cry for those who can't, because that emotion, that depth of feeling, that empathy, even with that fear, we're going to need it. And it's just as necessary as all of the other, maybe more directly actionable, directly proactive emotions. It's still necessary. I think that this is the group that a number of us will find ourselves visiting. And that's okay. That's necessary. Maybe you're enraged about literally everything that can and has been threatened to go wrong for the next 4 years. And you need a way to let the sunshine in and channel that anger. First, anger is rational. It is appropriate. And I would say Imagine the next administration as a George Lucas created, Disney trademark, very large vehicle, and think of ways to focus your rage into the force that will explode that thing and let the sunshine in for everyone else around you. I think that it's important that no one positive vibes only emotionally bypass the fact that we should be angry, but we can focus that anger into meaningful outcomes to protect ourselves and our communities. And you might be the type of person that we will need when maybe some of the softer attempts aren't working. So let's say that you're fortunate enough to be pretty confident that you're going to be okay for the next 4 years, and you'll survive. Things might not change a great deal for you, but you feel a great deal of empathy for all of the previous groups. I would say that you're necessary in a very specific way, in that you can hold space, but also be protective of all of the other groups that were mentioned. But you also have the opportunity to be the first, not line of defense, but maybe a welcoming committee for the next group. You can let the sunshine in by holding space for everyone who is afraid that the worst case scenario that they voted against is going to take place. But you can also let the sunshine in by being available to the next group. All right. So let's say that you are in the unique position of having been very much a fan of a much less attractive redhead. And in the past couple of weeks, you found yourself understanding that you might have helped harm yourself, your family, and everybody else. It's not too late. Whatever you've learned in this time, from the results coming in to these cabinet announcements, the way that you can let the sunshine in is to speak about it. Tell everyone, anyone that will listen, all of the things that you've learned in this short amount of time, or all the things that you heard previously but you didn't necessarily believe, that now have you understanding we're all in this together and it can get really bad. It's not too late. But you owe it to your own conscience, and maybe to the country, to do what you can to help others understand just how bad this could get if we don't come together in whatever ways we can manage. Let the sun shine in. So if you're curious about how I personally have let the sun shine in after my very tumultuous few days after the election, if you're seeing this, that means that I completed the goal of recording, editing, and uploading for the first time. And so that's definitely a new personal record. The other way is these nails. I call these my educated democracy is purple and blue nails. My Lisa Simpson purple, my Kamala purple and democracy blue nails. They set a lot of little records for me. They're the longest nails I've ever had. They're the most colorful nails and the most complicated nails I've ever had. And I did them myself, so didn't spend that money. It's gonna take the little things. It's also gonna take the big things. And we're going to figure out a way through this. But if you want to know the secret reason why I feel a lot better and why I especially was thanking TT Kamala and Merrick Garland. If I get 200 people on my $1 Patreon, I will make a deep dive on all of the things that I think have gotten done but went unnoticed because they weren't a part of the big news cycles of the past 4 years. There was a lot of other noise happening constantly. And I would like to do it, but it's going to be so in-depth, and I have so many other things that I want to talk about. So 200 patrons for the $1 tier, and I will chop it down to a handful of shorts as well. And if you're interested in the products I use for my nails, I'll do a quick video on that if you like the comment below. So thank you.